Buck, I tell you what, 2020 has been one hell of a year. We've all had our struggles, we've all had our fights, but it's about the middle to late December, so if you're new on the channel, welcome. If you've been on the channel, welcome. This is what I like to do at the end of the season. I get all the projects together and I do what's called the year-end channel recap. What that is I basically go around and I introduce or I go over the builds present and I talk about, you know, what all I've done within the past year as well as builds coming to the channel. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So going right to left instead of left to right, we have the Yerf dog that we acquired a couple months back that I am going to be building for myself and my sister. This is going to be the next project that I'm going to be working on. I got to make room in the shop for this because this is just a hair bit wider than a lawn tractor, and since lawn tractor flipping season has kindly ended, time to make room for some personal stuff. We did have a black version of one of these on the channel, but I got rid of that for another financial mistake, which we got rid of to prevent any more money spending, I guess you would say. But I came across this and I just couldn't pass the deal up. So this Yerf dog has the 6.5 horsepower Tecumseh motor. The carburetors on these I'm not at all a fan of, but I am going to get it running. I've got to adjust the idle screw on it, but that's no big deal. But I am going to be swapping this out for a Predator 212. I'm going to get the non-Hemi version so that I can put a charging system on it and be able to run lights and whatever have you. I don't know if I'm going to keep the stock setup on the torque converter. I said in a previous upload that I was going to swap this out, and honest to God, I don't know if I'm going to do that now, especially if the Predator will fit on the same plate. I may decide to throw a 30 series belt on it and just see what happens. Worst case scenario, we do end up having to spend the big bucks to get one, but I'm going to try to see what I can work with before we start doing that. Also, I do want to put a forward reverse gearbox on it. I'm not going to go too in-depth details on it because I already made a video explaining all of that. So if you want to, please go onto my channel. If I can link a URL to the video, I will, if I can remember. But I've got a full video explaining the whole entire rundown on this build. So y'all go check it out. And now we get to the Sears. The Sears / Mutt 3. This is a 1987 Sears Suburban GT 19.9. I took this tractor last year. For those of y'all who are new subscribers and have not seen the videos, I basically took this thing from almost going to the scrapyard just about, I tore it all down, painted it up really nice, and I made it to where it could be a show tractor, or within 5 seconds or 5 minutes, whatever, I could have this thing, you know, getting down dirty in the mud. Nothing has really changed on this in the past year. Mainly just been making implements and stuff, because this thing has an awesome 3-point hitch on the back of it. But I did make me a custom stinger bar on here. That I am going to be redoing because I don't like it, but with projects and stuff and what goes on around here, I just have not gotten to it yet. Going to the back here, like I say, I've been making some attachments. This is a crane attachment that I built that I had an idea for. And this basically, when it comes to lawn tractor flipping season, when I get a lawn tractor in, then it doesn't run, you know, it's hard to push or whatever, I just back this snazzy son of a gun up here, drop that line, and I just pick it straight up, and this thing hauls it wherever I need to. So I do need to beef up a little bit on this thing. If you can tell, that weld, a little bit of it has split just because it's thin metal versus 1/4 inch. I need to build me a plate on the back of this. Well, not on the back of it, but like right here, I've got a rivet nut tool, and I'm going to put me some nut certs in there, and I'm going to place a T-weld onto this. I'm going to just make a whole separate top link plate on it and just screw it on, because that'll be much stronger, and it will disperse the weight more nicely than just bending the crap out of this. But hey, that thing will lift that 4-wheeler with no problem. My biggest problem is this front end likes to go up a lot. So the next couple modifications will be me building a weight rack for this. Now what I have on here now is I actually have 2 heavy duty bolts that are just shy of fitting squarely into this 1x1 steel, square steel. But these are actually 10-pound weights, and I've got 4 of them on here, which honestly weighs roughly the weight of a center block. And I need way more than just 1 center block to keep this front end down, especially if I'm towing something that's got some pretty good gravity. So that's going to be another video on what I'm going to do with that, because honestly, I don't even know myself. I will have to do some brainstorming and come up with an idea, because I kind of wanted something that I didn't have to fabricate a whole lot, something that I could just tie off of something else and not have, you know, something limiting my ground clearance if when I do take this thing off-road. Moving around to here, this is the Predator 212 that is powering this thing. If you guys do not know, I mentioned on the Yerf Dog finding one that's not a Hemi. This motor has a Hemi style head on it. Well, you can buy a charging system that goes behind the flywheel on the non-Hemi ones. You cannot put one on the Hemi versions because they're made differently. Don't ask me how, because I don't know. But somehow, some way, it just won't clear. So I already have bought a one-wire style, I think it is, alternator to go somewhere on here. So we will figure that out when we figure that out. Because I have to have some sort of power so that I can power my winch up front. There is currently a lawnmower battery underneath the hood, but this winch just kills it immediately. So I'm going to have to find some way to keep this sun charged. But that is just about the rundown on the Sears, on the good old Mutt 3. By the way, if I did not mention, MUT stands for multi-use tractor. And now we come to this. This is my 2004 Honda Foreman Rubicon 500cc four-wheeler. Now, we got this about a couple months ago. I actually traded a guy my black Chevy truck and a little bit of money for this in order to buy the Jeep WJ that I currently daily drive now, which we will get to that. But as far as this goes, actually we just got it back from the shop a little over a month ago, and it's been nicknamed and named, but now it's officially the BMW. BMW for a big money waster. I'm not saying how much the repair bill is, cause honestly I'm embarrassed to say. But either way, it runs like a champ. Basically what they did is they replaced that CV joint and they did a full service on it and all the good stuff, and it runs like a blast. Now I'm just ready to get it out on the trails. I have not taken it out yet since it's been back, mainly just waiting for winter. If it decides to snow in here, in North Carolina, Mother Nature will decide that. I hope it's not like last winter where it didn't snow but it got stupid cold. Future plans, I'm not entirely sure, but I definitely want to find a way to stick a winch on the front of this thing. I definitely want to find a way to put a at least one, if not two, light bars, have one on the back, one on the front. But honestly, I kind of enjoy this thing just like it is. Sorry for the wind noise or if the camera's a little shaky, but I'm just going to build this thing as I go. I don't exactly know what I'm going to do with it. Might as just ride it and just whatever. Now, last but certainly not least, the shopping rod build. Yes, this year, 2020, was finally the year of the shopping rod build. This has been a build. It has been an experience. It's been pretty wild. This has been my quarantine project, if you will, but just a quick rundown on it. Basically, it's a shopping cart, obviously, custom built frame. Just about everything on this thing, minus the motor and a few other things, has been completely custom done. This is more of a build for like car shows, swap meets. This thing you will not be seeing very much more around here, as I will be taking it to a different location that suits this more. I'm not a fan of I made it too low, pretty much, is what I'm trying to get at. I built it too low. The frame bottoms out on just about everything other than asphalt. So yeah, it's going to a different location. No, I'm not selling it, or at least not yet. I still like this thing a whole lot. It definitely draws a crowd, but it's better used somewhere else other than, well, here. But that's about it for that. Not very much being added to this. Is basically a build in its own. Alright, so it is a few hours later, but getting on to the vehicles on the channel. This is the XJ that everybody knows about. This is aka Tilly, aka Project Overland, Project That One Till Jeep. But this is it. It's been down for probably about the good last 5 months, but we've been working feverishly on this thing within the last couple weeks, getting the whole top end of the motor rebuilt, all that jazz, getting everything else set and done on it. This is just an ongoing project. I keep on finding stuff to do to it, so Um, Mainly just getting her back on the road is my plans for now. I am going to be redoing the whole entire wiring on it. Not the actual like motor and stuff, but like accessory wise, I'm going to be going through all the wiring on it. And I'll put in a clip, but I've actually been behind the scenes working on a PDM for it, a power distribution module that pretty much puts 12 volts to wherever you need it, using like fuses and relays and stuff like that. So this is what I'm talking about when I say a PDM. This is for my rock lights. It goes through this fuse, through this relay, on into my bus bar. And I've got one for my light bar, my pod lights, and my fan when I get my switch for it. But that's pretty much what that is. It's basically just a big old module that has everything all in one, to where it's all nice and organized and I know what's what. Guys, this is the other project. This is my 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the WJ. Honestly, this is basically just going to be a daily driver. I do have a set of rims, factory rims, what I call like the 5-spoke snowflake style, that I've got for this thing, that I'm actually going to wrap in better tires, because these tires are a little bit less to be liked. They're cheap. I'm going to be replacing them soon. I actually have a spare on the back, because that one right there used to be on the back and it had cords in it showing, so can't really have that. But as far as mods go, I'm going to be darkening out the tail lights once I get one of my lights fixed. I'm going to be going aftermarket, blacked out headlights, with the clear turn signals not having the amber out there. I'm going to be pretty much blacking out everything that's not blue. I'm going to darken this. They have a solution that you can put on that to take the fade out of the exterior plastics. But this grill is going to be black. Also, I'm going to be putting a pretty good, decent sound system in this, but that will come in time. I am going to get this thing repainted, because I don't know if you can see, but definitely, oh heck yeah, this thing has got scratches all over it. I mean, it's terrible. So that, and plus I want to put a full brush guard on the front of this. I am going to delete my fog lights, and I'm going to replace them with LED pods, as well as I'm going to tap into the wiring harness on the LED pods. And where I'm going to put my brush guard on there, I'm going to wire in 2 more LED pods for like spotlights. So that's going to be pretty cool. Going to pretty much act like high beams, but better high beams. I'm going to have my driving lights, then I'm going to have my high beams, and I'm going to have more high beams. So that's pretty much it on that, minus I'm going to tint the snot out of it. I don't like the whole fishbowl look. It's tinted on the backside, but it's not tinted on the drivers, and I kind of want a little bit of a tint on the drivers, but I don't want to be able to see anything in the back. I want all of that dark. But that's basically it on this. Mainly it's just replacing things that go out. Say this past year has been a real hoopty for me, you know, as well as I'm sure it has been for you guys as well, you know, especially dealing with this whole China virus mess or whatever. It's put everybody in a strain, both mentally, physically, and financially. There was a lot of stuff that I was really wanting to do this past year that I didn't get to do, which I mean, it is what it is. It's just one of them things, you know, this world is constantly changing whether we want it to or not. We just have to find ways to adapt, overcome, and if possible, find a way around it. So just live our lives regardless. You know, I'm not getting into it on this channel because I like to leave politics and that mess off of it as much as possible, even though I am kind of biased when it comes to that kind of thing. But either any rate, we'll see what next year has for us. If they say what they say is true, which is kind of a 50-50 shot at this point, depending on who you listen to and what you do, and where you get your news from or whatever. But they're saying, you know, next year, 2021 is going to be a whole nother ball game for the better. So I hope that's true, and I hope everything pulls through. If not, then, like I say, we'll find a way around it, because we always do. Yeah, I'm just going to keep plugging and chugging, and I will see you guys next year in February. That's right, I said February because I am wanting to take off the month of January, because here in North Carolina, that's usually when winter decides to hit the hardest. Whether that happens or not, I may film, I may not film, it just depends. But I guess we'll see. But I'm going to aim for February. So we'll see what rolls then. I will end this video out by saying I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and enjoy the new year. And if y'all like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're stopping here for the first time, please consider subscribing, because if things go the way I want them to go, 2021 is about to be a game changer. So yeah, till next time, we'll see y'all.